Hello, we're back. It's episode 28, and I guess you could say we have an announcement to make.
Whoa.
What?
An announcement.
Another one, because we already
another
did one in video form, but this one is just podcast related. Basically, it's been a while now since we started this thing, and we just wanted to change up the graphics a little bit because they're getting a bit old, and we're going to keep the rest pretty much the same. We're going to try and do a bit more news than we normally do. But yeah, so no one's noticed. I've already changed the graphics and no one has noticed.
Classic.
But that's happening. The iTunes one is taking a while, but that will come through hopefully. So new graphics, new look, old podcast, essentially.
Yeah, but we're still going to be trying a few new things with stuff. And as always, if you have any ideas or have any feedback or don't like certain aspects, then let us know and we'll see what we can do about it.
I forgot, we're changing the music.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the big one.
It's
so all the
changing.
The song which nobody really liked, including us, is gone. And we have a jazzy new song. We'll play it now.
Wow.
Wow.
That was something.
Wasn't it amazing?
That definitely wasn't from the stock YouTube library of songs.
Never. Yeah, so I guess we start episode 28. What's going on? It's a big week actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
For Coaster
A
Bot.
lot's going on.
A lot is going on.
It's
and we're busy.
my own fault really, because last
Can
year...
I just say, why is everything... why have you arranged it?
I didn't, right? Well, this is it. Last year, we had the Golden Cog Awards would come out, right? We would start it in September and it would come out October.
Really?
No, we would start it in the early September. It would come out late September, early October. This year, we started it in middle of October and now it's coming out middle of November. Last year, the photo competition was early October till early November, and it's the same this year. So what's happened is the Golden Cog Awards has got pushed back on top of the photo competition.
Why is this? Because we moved?
Yeah, because I didn't really have time to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to improve it and make it better, but I didn't have time. And then when I did have time, I made it better.
But it's late.
But it's late, yeah. So
this week is like voting ends tonight, 'cause it's Wednesday, for the photo competition. So the results are out tomorrow.
yes.
Very exciting, but that's yesterday for you. And then this weekend is the results of the Golden Cog Awards.
Yeah, that's right.
So this week Harry's like madly trying to do this whole coding thing,
Yeah.
which literally makes no sense, but oh well.
It's a bit of a mess. Hopefully it comes out on Sunday. If it doesn't come out, then it didn't work.
Yeah, no, it'd be fine.
So we'll see. But yeah, no, that's pretty much all I'm doing right now. Is once those two things are out of the way, we can start to move on.
And last week we had our big announcement. If you haven't heard, we have pin badges now.
Oh yeah.
There's a funny video which we recorded on YouTube if you want to check it out. And grab your own pin. They're pretty cool actually. So yeah, is there any coaster related news this week? What's happening?
Buy a pin badge first, please.
No, that's not coaster news, is it?
No, but just do it anyway.
Headlining the UK, buy a coaster badge.
Coasterbot.com/store. I mean, if you want to buy a pin, I'd suggest doing it quickly because...
Oh, guys, the white ones
Exactly.
are nearly gone.
we ordered a ratio of 1...
25% white,
Yeah,
75% blue.
Yes.
There we go.
Right? And the blue has been selling better as we expected.
Yeah.
But because the white is a limited edition, people have just been buying them.
Yeah.
Just because they're limited edition.
And also they look good.
So there's only a select amount left, about 25% of that.
Yeah.
So if you want a pin,
Quick.
buy a pin.
Yeah.
And also, if you want a poster, buy a poster because they ain't coming back.
Yeah, we don't like them anymore.
So
It's not happening. This is the last ones.
So yeah, grab your stuff. Anyway, news. I don't know if anything's really been happening over the past few weeks and months.
Weeks and months and years, which we haven't
two
caught
main
up on.
roller coasters have been going up, or I've seen. 3 main roller coasters have been going up that I've seen. Probably more. There's Pantheon at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, which is the Intamin multi-launch coaster.
Right.
Big boy of a coaster. Looks really cool. Colour scheme is like a brown.
Brown?
Yeah, it's weird.
What?
Yeah. Looks strange. Someone put a photo of it and I thought it was a Vekoma. It looks very odd. But no, it looks good. Interesting. Weird though. All of the new Intamin coasters are really quirky. They're a bit kind of like, you know. Outside of that, we've got 2 B&M coasters. We've got Candemonium at Hershey Park, their new B&M hypercoaster, even though they've already got an Intamin hypercoaster.
Yep.
But that looks good actually. For a hypercoaster, that looks quite fun. As in, it looks to be one of the more unique ones. And it goes right in front of the plaza. Very cool. So that's going up and it's been topped off. So the highest point's already been done. And then over in Kings Island, they're getting a Giga Coaster, even though they already have a Hyper Coaster. Classic. And their Giga Coaster is called Orion, I think. Hopefully.
Cool.
That is just shy of 300 feet. Whatever that is in meters, 91 meters or something. Interesting layout. It looks to be a mix between Fury 325 and Leviathan. Don't know what I feel about that one. You know? Like, Candemonium looks to be one of the better hypercoasters. There's only 2
This one just looks average.
There's only two B&M Giga Coasters, but it looks weird. So, but we'll see. So, yeah, all of that's going on in the States. What we got going on over in Europe. Tripsdrill announced they're getting 2 roller coasters next year.
Right.
They're getting a new generation a new generation Vekoma suspended looping coaster called the Suspended Thrill Coaster.
Sorry, called the Suspended Thrill Coaster.
The STC.
No.
It looks really good, actually.
That is a bad name.
Yeah, it's a bad name, but as in, that's not the final name. That's the model name.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
Yeah, but it's
Imagine if that was the final name.
It's an updated Vekoma SLC, basically.
Right.
But all of the new stuff Vekoma's been doing is really good. So
I'll believe it when I see it.
It looks to be good. And it's intertwined with a Vekoma family boomerang coaster, like Rake.
What do you mean intertwined?
It's
already that one's already there.
No.
That's
no.
building as well.
Those are the 2 they're building next to each other. So they're getting those 2, which is very cool. So they're up in their roller coaster game. They've already got Mammut, which is the only Gerstlauer wooden coaster, and they've got tons of big coasters, and Caraco,
right,
which is a Gerstlauer launched Infinity. Other news, there's a small theme park called Power Park. That's what it's called.
Power Park. Where's this?
Can't remember where it is. Something like Finland or something.
Okay.
Right, and Power Park has a Gerstlauer launched coaster also called
Power.
Something Junker. It's called Junker, right?
It
looks really cool. It looks really cool. It's green and white. So like a few weeks ago, it's finished. It's been finished. It was built in like 2016, right?
Right.
A few weeks ago, track and supports were spotted on site at Power Park with the identical like color scheme and design of Junker.
What?
Yeah, so bearing in mind that in the same country, a new ride opened, Tiger, a Intamin multi-launch coaster, the one that people have been talking about in that random park that I can't remember, Linnanmäki.
Right. Yeah.
So people believe that they are wanting to extend Junker.
What?
And break the record that Tiger got.
Oh my God, so they were beaten out on a record and now they want to extend it to win it back?
Yeah.
God.
But
why?
You don't really see many parks extending roller coasters.
No, because that's weird.
If they extend it, it'll probably be the first time a park's actually extended a roller coaster, like, just because they can, rather than...
Because they're dumb, is why.
You find that parks extend roller coasters if they move them. Like,
right, yeah.
Some indoor coasters have been extended when they've been put outside.
Yeah, to make it fit the scene more.
But that's like a moving. This is, we're just going to extend it.
Oh, no, that's not even funny.
So...
Use your money on something else.
Well, we'll see what happens. Final bit of news. There's probably loads more, but the Intamin multi-looping 10 inversion coaster coming to Flamingo Land is underway. It's going up quite quickly. So, yeah, that's something. It's all there. They haven't painted it yet. I don't know if they will paint it.
What colour is it going to be?
Like a yellow and red.
Yellow and red?
Weird.
Why?
So, yeah, that's going up quite fast. Fortunately, they've built trenches for it. Some of the ones in China, because the part of the ride go below, like the ground, so they have to build trenches to go in. So what some parks in China did was they just propped it all up. They just put it all up.
Of course.
Just like these stilts.
Yeah.
No, but they're not doing that, fortunately.
Cool.
Yeah. So there's some news for you. I don't know what else is going on. I'll have to have a look next time.
Yeah. Okay, so on to the main event this episode.
Yes. So what were we talking about?
Harry knows nothing about this podcast. We're talking about over and underrated rides.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I haven't actually prepared my own list of rides.
No.
I feel like they'll spring to mind quite easily once we get started.
Mm-hmm.
But when I decided on this topic, right, I did not think it was going to be this controversial. But apparently it is. Which I think we should actually start with, because I feel like what I think the words mean is different to what some other people think the words mean. Like, some people think that underrated or overrated means that I think if I say a certain ride is overrated, then I think everybody else should not like it. Do you know what I mean? And that should be the rule, and everybody should stop liking it. But actually, I think I mean it more of like, I'm surprised people like it. I don't care if they like it. They can do what they want. But it's just like, I thought...
Well, most of the time
they wouldn't.
You're surprised that they like it that much.
Yeah.
Not as much as...
At all.
Yeah, not at all. Or not that they like it. It's they like it that much.
Yeah.
So...
It's more of like the extreme things.
And then, underrated is that people don't like it that much, even though you believe it's really good.
Yeah. But I feel like I don't take things that seriously. Like, I'm not going to force anybody to like anything, obviously, because, well, I mean, we've spoken about this before, like, just like what you want to like. It doesn't really matter. That's the whole point. Do you know what I mean? Because if everybody liked the same one, then imagine what kind of world that would be. If everybody liked the same exact ride, we just wouldn't even have other rides. But yeah, so I put up a thing on Twitter, as usual, saying questions or what do you think's over or underrated. Somebody called Jonathan said, in reply, I personally hate the whole concept of underrated and overrated. Every decent ride should be appreciated for what it is. More for you to let others people's opinions affect your feelings towards a ride. Which was a comment that I wasn't expecting from anybody.
Can I hit back on that really, really
Go
fast?
for it.
It says, what does it say about more fool you to let other people's opinions affect your feeling towards a ride. I think that statement's fundamentally wrong. Because but listen, if everyone you know says a ride's really good, it's very difficult to mentally say that they're wrong, right?
Not even that they're wrong, just that you're not taking that into consideration.
Exactly. It's extremely difficult to do that. So if everyone's telling you a ride is meant to be really good, and then you get on it and it isn't as good as you expected it to be, fundamentally that's the fault of those people, right? If you had no expectations going into a ride... I don't think it's
even the fault, because I don't think it's a fault of anybody's, right? No. It's just a thing of somehow you're different to them in that you don't like this specific thing.
No, but I still think that, like, my enjoyment of a ride could be, on a scale, the exact same as someone else's enjoyment, but because they rode it before everyone said it was really good, they had no expectations. Expectations play a large part of whether a ride's over or underrated, right? Yeah. You find that a lot of the big boy rides or the big boy names often are overrated because everyone says, because they're so ridden, everyone has so many opinions about them already, so that you never go in with a clear mind, right? Yeah. Whereas when you ride things that aren't so ridden, you know, like me with Carnan, I barely knew anyone who'd ridden it. So even though my expectations were high, because I thought it would be a cool ride, they were surpassed because I had no one else to reference. When we rode Taran, everybody under the sun said Taran is like Jesus, right? We rode it and
literally,
I was like, you know?
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, okay, so...
But then, just quickly, you can go against other people. Yeah. In the sense that when we rode Helix for the first time, I had bad experiences. Well, I rode Bluefire, the first Mac launch coaster, and thought it was garbage. I rode Icon and thought it was about right. So
Yeah.
I thought Helix, it's not going to be anywhere near as good as people say. It's going to be good, but it's not going to be great, right?
Yeah.
So I was going against everyone's opinion based on my own feelings.
Yeah.
And then we rode it. My expectations were low, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So you this is it. I think this fundamental overrated, underrated is really to do with expectations and how you manage your expectations. But then that's very hard to do.
So I don't know if anybody knows this, but I did psychology at uni, and like what you just said about it's very hard not to listen to other people. Literally, your mind is, if you've never experienced something before in the world, then your mind is so good that it will use past experiences to create
A rough idea.
it's called a schema.
Yeah.
You use a schema to base how that new experience is going to be on.
Yeah.
So like physically you cannot stop that from happening because that's how your brain works.
Yeah.
You can't just clear your mind of what people have said
No, of course.
because they've said it.
Yep.
So if I say to you Taryn's really great, you're not going to go into Taryn and be like, oh, I have no opinions, like I don't know anything about how good this is going to be, because your brain knows.
But you could try and tell yourself that, but I don't even think you
No,
could tell
because
yourself, could you?
it's already, the damage is done.
Yeah.
You can't, it's like if I tell you a secret and then go, okay, like act like you don't know the secret.
Yeah, it's impossible.
You
to
cannot do that.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
do. Yeah.
So I feel like I know where this comment's coming from, and I get that a lot of people do say, oh, so-and-so ride is really underrated or really overrated, and get quite aggy about it, that they feel it's more of the thing of, you can say it's underrated, but it's when people try and force other people to change their minds about it because they feel so strongly that it's underrated or whatever, that it gets annoying. So I get where the comment's coming from.
Was there a rebuttal to that?
There was
on
quite a
Twitter?
lot of replies. Jonathan himself actually said, in addition, see theoretical example. Enthusiast 1, Taryn is my number 1, Helix is rubbish and so overrated. Enthusiast 2, Helix is my number 1, Taryn is rubbish and so overrated. Both have ridden around 200 coasters, with both in their top 10, top 5% of coasters they've ridden.
Yeah, so it is all relative, right? Like overrated in the sense that it's not, say, the
It's
top
not number
1%.
one.
Yeah, exactly. But it is the top 5 or 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely is all relative, and a lot of the rides that people say are overrated are still very, very good. They're just not.
And this is what
Always
is is quite hard for me to articulate, or us to articulate on here, is when we have conversations, especially about things like Helix and Taryn. We've had whole episodes literally just talking about that specific debate, which one's better. But we're saying Taryn is, we've said in the past Taryn's overrated, right? We've said it. But that, it's hard number, it's what number is it for you?
4.
It's my like number 4 as well, I think, or 3.
Yeah.
What? Think how mad that is.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't mean it's a rubbish ride
No.
or that other people shouldn't like it.
No, of course.
It just didn't live up to the expectations we had.
Exactly.
That's all we mean by
But
underrated.
those are all formed by other people.
Yeah.
You know, and this is it. We didn't have expectations going into Helix. And even when we did, when we went back the second year, we had expectations and we were disappointed.
We
by
were
that first ride of the
disappointed
day.
because Helix is my favourite ride, right? So when we rode it the first time, every ride we had on it blew us away.
Yeah.
It was amazing. We went away, came back a year later. We were like, Helix, let's get back on it. Went on it, first thing, nothing. I literally felt nothing, and I was like, cool. Have they changed the ride, or what's going on? But then as the day went on, it got better again.
Yeah. And then it was as we
And it was
remembered.
amazing.
Yeah.
So I feel like part of that was in our minds, in the year that we'd been away, our mind had built it up even more to
yeah.
be better than it actually
Yeah,
was.
definitely.
And when we went on, it didn't live up to it. And it took us a while to get back into the thing of like how good it actually was.
Yeah.
You know? It's very hard, especially when you only go on these rides like a few times. Do you want to read through other people's?
Yeah.
So, we're just going to read out some people's opinions of rides, and then we'll just talk about what we think. Here's one you'll like, Harry.
Yes.
Luke says, I find the Smiler overrated. It's a great piece of engineering, but it's not a consistently smooth ride. It's literally inversion into inversion, and that jolt is pretty bad.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, fine.
Like,
I can see what they mean.
Yeah, it depends if you care about rides being smooth. Like, sure, there's a few like shaky bits on the Smiler, but I wouldn't call it rough by any means. As in,
I wouldn't call it rough, but I would call it intense and like, what's the word?
yeah, it's not. It's obviously not glass smooth. And
It's not a smooth ride. It's a hard one to ride, because for me personally, when I first rode the Smiler, I literally cried. I hated it. My head was banging around. I couldn't. My technique was wrong because I was putting my head back instead of forwards out of the restraint, and it took me ages to learn how to ride it properly, so that I wasn't in as much pain. So I get what they mean. That like it can be quite extreme.
And then the inversion thing.
That's the point, isn't it?
The thing is, like, people say that inversions are crap or they don't like inversion. I think that's a load of garbage, honestly. I don't think there is much difference between an inversion and a different element. Half the time, right, you wouldn't even know you're upside down.
Can I say what is an inversion and what's an element?
When you go upside down. Inversion is an element that goes upside down.
Okay.
Right, so like a vertical...
But an element that doesn't go upside down is what? A helix.
For example, a helix.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with.
Or
So
turn.
people don't like it when you go upside down.
People say that they don't like inversions, and I just don't think that's... I think that is... I'm going to be blunt. I think it's stupid to think that.
Ooh, okay.
Because on a fundamental physical level, as in what's happening to you, is no different to, say, a helix. It is kind of, but it's like...
Wait, so what? I don't get it. What don't they like about inversions?
I don't know.
The physical thing of being upside down?
The physical thing of being upside down barely makes any difference to the whole situation, except for the fact that you see yourself upside down. The forces are no different. They're very, very similar at the bottom as they are at the top, right? In a way. Try not to grill me on this physics. I can't be asked to explain it properly. I do have a... Zoe said you studied psychology, I studied physics, that's fine. I know what I'm doing. But this is it, like... Yeah, I don't like that argument that inversions are bad, or...
Can I ask, how are you riding a coaster without an inversion?
What do you mean?
Give me a coaster where there's no inversion. Are you joking?
Karen doesn't have any inversions.
See, now, to me, they all have inversions.
Well, this is it, because
it's all the same, man.
Exactly, it's all the same.
It's all the same.
What's the difference between an overbank turn and a cutback, right? Like, essentially, for you, an overbank turn is like, imagine a 180 degree turn.
Turning mad.
Right, just 180 degrees, so you turn back on yourself.
Yeah.
Now,
bank it really high.
Make it go up, and then the track at the very top of the turn is banked inwards. So
you're essentially...
So you're facing inwards.
You're nearly turned
upside
over.
down, but you're not, right?
So that's not an inversion.
That's not an inversion. But if you twist that track a little bit more, and it's an inversion...
It's an inversion.
What's the difference?
Nothing.
Exactly, nothing.
Oh my god.
Hardly anything's changed, right?
Okay.
And this is what I mean. I don't like it when people say, oh, that inversions are crap, or, oh, Taron doesn't need inversions because inversions don't add anything to the ride. Garbage. Hot garbage, right? Inversions are good. Inversions let you do things that elements don't do, right? As I've said before, if you want a fast way to turn around, you either have to do some big turn or an overbank turn, or you could easily have some sort of dive loop where you go up through a half loop and back.
Yeah.
Half loop, much more compact.
I feel like
less space.
Inversions just make it more interesting as well.
It's just variety, right? So, I don't know. It's a whole different rant on a whole different subject, but let me know what you think. Tweet me at CoasterBot.
Yeah, tell Harry he's wrong and you really insulted everybody.
I just don't believe it. I just think it's hard. I think it's really stupid.
I agree that it's quite hard to believe.
Yeah, because
especially, I don't want to sound weird or rude, but if you're an enthusiast, surely inversions are part of the thing you love.
Not everyone loves inversions, right? But again, I think.
But isn't that part of the thrill?
Well, sometimes I just think that's fundamentally like flawed.
But aren't you cutting out like half the roller coasters in the world if you don't like inversions?
Probably more, yeah.
Stop depriving yourselves, guys. There's a whole world out there.
Yeah. Just don't think of them as inversions. Think of them as elements where you're getting force from them. Anyway, Smiler, yeah, sure. Smiler's a weird one. It's both overrated and underrated at the same time because certain people say it's pure garbage and certain people say it's really good. There's no middle ground on the Smiler. So do what you will with it.
Throw it in the bin if you so please.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, this is a good one. I'm just bringing out all these ones that I know is going to upset you.
Yep.
Andrew says, I wish there was a bit more love for Rockin' Roller Coaster.
Oh.
The disco lights may be lazy, but combined with the soundtrack, it still makes for a fun ride. Hold on. Decent launch too. Plus, I like the build-up and interaction with the queue line.
Queue's gone. Okay, let's rattle through those points. Starting at the queue. The queue is bad until you get on the inside and you can see the launch. Then the queue's good.
That's what he's talking about. The interaction.
Yeah, that's really good. Like that. That's
I'm sorry, are you saying that the pre-show is bad?
Yes.
What a ride. What an experience.
The launch. I like the launch. I think that's a really good launch, right?
Okay. That's a good point.
First element, the sea serpent roll.
Yeah.
Perfect start.
Okay.
Then it's crap. Literally, then it's crap.
Okay, I kind of agree.
Because it's boring.
No, but I don't think it's as bad as you think it is.
No. It's not bad. I always like to play devil's advocate with a lot of things. So
yeah.
A lot of people like Rock and Roller Coaster. It's good.
I think it's fine. It's a decent ride.
It's fine. Yeah. It's just not. It's not to Disney standards,
Yeah.
That one especially. The disco lasers are lazy. The soundtrack is cool and very good, but you could do that to any ride. Mm-hmm. I do appreciate the fact that rides with soundtracks there's more to them, and that is definitely a good aspect of the ride. I'm just not a fan of the layout. It's just it starts off with such a punch and then has nothing.
Yeah.
And the theme is disappointing.
Peaks too early, I think, is the issue.
So I'm really looking forward to Iron Man, because if they actually fix the theming of that ride, then and add it a proper
They're
story,
making it Iron Man.
It's Iron Man. There's a lot of potential with Iron Man.
I don't really know who Iron Man is.
Iron Man. It's
Sorry.
Marvel.
Yeah, I know it's Marvel. What does he look like? The red one?
Yeah, the red and gold one.
Okay.
But there's a lot of potential, right? Because there's no real story to Rock and Roller Coaster in Paris. It's just, we're
what a ride!
Yeah,
what an experience!
Yeah, trash.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So sure, whatever. I'm being blunt here, but that's
no, do it. Everybody else is being blunt, so we're allowed to be blunt as well.
Next.
Okay, a lot of people across all social medias were saying that Nemesis is overrated.
Yeah, well, some people come to the UK and really like it, really like it, and then other people say, meh, it's alright. What I think you can't floor Nemesis for being is inconsistent. I think Nemesis is a very consistent ride, as in, either it's very good in terms of it's packs a punch, it's fast, it's never usually slow, and it's never usually forceless, right? So it's very good, or it's very, very good. There's no bad, there's no slow. It's either fast or very fast. When it's running really well on a hot summer's day, it is really punchy. But the thing is, Nemesis is so old. It's one of the oldest coasters that ranks really high still. So everyone has an opinion about it. So everyone has a bias when they ride it,
The issue with that is as well, a lot of it's like just nostalgia.
Yeah.
As well.
This is it. Like everyone who in the UK has ridden it before the other big rides came out at Alton Towers or even across the UK, before Oblivion and before the Smiler, Galactica, Nemesis Inferno, Colossus, Soar, whatever. So before all of those, it probably was what it was, something completely different and that no one else had experienced. So back in the day, it wouldn't have been overrated, but yeah, nostalgia and time and everyone's ridden it, so.
That's another thing that affects our perceptions of rides is nostalgia.
Yeah, I think nostalgia's stupid. We all should grow up.
Whoa.
No, I don't think it's stupid.
Nah,
It's-
I even have nostalgia for like the Smiler. Just because like it used to be your favourite ride. It was like the first one where you were like to me, oh my god, this is such a good ride. Like
Yeah. No, I
it
appreciate...
was the original.
I appreciate nostalgia up until the point where it blinds people's opinions. Right?
Yeah.
Like, when a ride has existed for 25 years, it's really in a bad state now, but people don't want to get rid of it because it was really
It's a
good.
classic.
Yeah, I think it's stupid to do that, especially in the theme park world where rides only have certain shelf lives, and the offering today is much stronger in terms of, you know, the technical rides that you can get than it was back in the day. So things like Efteling retracking Python, stupid. Don't like that. Why would you keep your Vekoma, you know, multi-looper? Why? It looks stupid. It is stupid. It's not up to Efteling standards. So that's why I don't like nostalgia. I appreciate that everyone has nostalgia, and a lot of the time nostalgia is well placed. But yeah, it's annoying when people get all upset because their favourite ride's gone.
Yeah, but imagine if they went, oh, we're removing Kanan next year.
No, they wouldn't do that.
No, but just imagine if they would.
If they said, oh, we're removing Kanan in 20 years,
No,
I'd
Harry.
be like, all right,
Harry,
fair.
imagine if they
No,
said,
because
we're
that's
removing
not
it
like
next
that, is
year.
it? Everyone complains about the rides that are getting removed when they're already 20 years old. They don't complain about the rides that 5 years old that's going. That's not what it is.
Yeah, I guess.
So you can't give me that argument. Sure,
Okay,
if Kanan was
okay.
20, I'd be a little upset that it was going, but I would be like, hands apart.
It's a good move.
Hansa Park, not many people are riding it anymore. All of the new additions seem to be really good. I look forward to the next thing, you know?
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But
It's
for
just the
some
business.
people, it is their favourite ride
Of course.
forever.
Well, you're wrong, but yeah, sure.
So,
Then you have a closed mindset, don't
yeah,
you?
I think,
You need an open mindset, people.
you know, change it up a little bit once in a while.
You need to believe that the next thing that you ride could be your favourite.
Yeah, give it a chance.
Unless it's, you know, Blue Fire, then don't believe that.
Yes, somebody said Legoland Rapids underrated. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
the
you.
Legoland Rapids are underrated in terms of they're very, very fierce and very fast and very cool, but they're stupid.
Underrated.
They're stupid rapids.
No, they're not. Literally, the only thing you hate about it is
It's
that
the
the trough's
setting.
out.
Yeah, it's the whole setting.
If the trough was not out, would you be
Right,
okay?
if the rapids, you know what? If the rapids was those rapids, but in the Alta Tower setting.
Why are you putting in towers for?
No, just trying to give you an example.
What's
right?
wrong with Legoland?
No, listen. As in they were in the ground, right? Not raised up 20 meters high,
Yeah.
and they had things around, whether it was trees or scenery. I'd love them. I think they'd be the best rapids ever, right? But because they're raised 10 meters off the ground, you can see this ugly concrete trough, and there's barely anything to see except a few Viking things every so often. It's stupid. But the system, the actual layout, and how rapidsy it is,
Rapids.
really good. The best I've done. Mm-hmm. So there you go. So underrated, sure.
Underrated.
I can appreciate that.
Underrated. I don't know if I can read this one. It's so harsh.
Go on.
Okay, this one's quite a harsh one. People, like, can we not be this harsh? I'm not going to shout them out. A lot of rides in the Netherlands are overrated.
Oh yeah, no,
Like
that's true.
Goliath, Baron, Untamed. Okay, no, that's fine. I agree.
Okay.
Right? A lot of people think they're the best thing in the world, but they probably haven't been to America.
Oh my god. I kind of
Amazing.
I kind of believe that. I'm sorry. I know that the Dutch enthusiasts are like the third biggest demographic.
Yeah,
but
we love you.
I believe that they all have.
What, Goliath's overrated?
No, I believe that every Dutch coaster they think is the next coming of Christ.
Right.
I don't know why, but they usually, a lot of them
I
usually
feel
rank their
like
own
that
rides high.
happens everywhere, though.
Well,
Every country thinks that they've got the best one coming.
kind of. I don't know what it's like in the US, but the UK is very strange.
What? Because we're too polite to
No.
say it's the best.
People either hate it
Right.
or they love it, and there's no in between.
Yeah, I feel like mostly we hate it.
Exactly. Like, honestly,
We're like, no, we don't want this, thank you.
Yeah. So, but I think a lot of Dutch people, they highly rate a lot of things.
They're
But to be
just
fair,
back in their own, man.
Goliath, very good. You know, it's a bit
Okay,
boring
so
in
you
between.
don't think that's
Oh no,
overrated?
I do think Goliath's overrated.
It's overrated, right?
It's
Ever so slightly
ever so
overrated.
slightly.
Okay. What about Baron?
I haven't done it.
Untamed. We haven't done
I haven't done that. Yeah, Untamed is an interesting one because everyone in the Netherlands has said, "Oh, this is the next coming of Christ." And
Right.
people say it's better than Wildfire and all of that.
What
kind
is
of
it
stuff.
again?
It's the same ride as Wildfire, kind of, pretty much.
Right.
So just a steel version.
That's an interesting one, which people didn't talk about Wildfire a lot. What do you think?
Well, because not many people have been on it.
Do you think
It's over.
Wildfire's over or under or nothing?
I think that Wildfire probably wasn't running the best when we went on it.
Yeah.
In all honesty. So if it was running faster, I would probably say that it was about right. Well, probably say that it was slightly below about right.
Right. I don't think it's either. I think it's spot on what everyone's saying. But I think the issue is I don't like that kind of ride.
It didn't do anything for me,
That's what I mean.
but it should have.
I don't know, it's hard.
Should it have? I don't know either.
No, it shouldn't have, because I personally don't really like that kind of ride.
Yeah.
So why would it be amazing in my eyes? Especially when everybody else has said it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
That added on top.
Yeah. It's I think I didn't like it as much as well because I don't like the trains at all.
Right.
The whole restraint system is uncomfortable and annoying.
Mm.
You know.
The one for me is the pacing.
Yeah,
I feel like
the pacing's awful towards the
I
end.
think one of the one of the like top things for me in a ride is the pacing of it. Like
Yeah.
that changes the whole thing.
Like, I don't know how that stands for me. It depends where you class the pacing.
What do you mean?
Like on the Smiler, does it bother you that we stop
Stop
in the middle?
to go on another
Yeah.
chain.
Yeah.
But that's part of the pace of it.
But
The part of the pace of it is that you start again.
but do you like that or not? Or do you?
It's
don't care?
fine.
It's fine, right? So you're
It's
more
just like two halves.
You're more about the pacing of
the
actual
pacing
ride.
of when
So you don't want it to slow down.
go
basically.
off the top
Yeah.
and come to a stop.
Yeah. In between those two.
Yeah.
Right.
So they on the Smiler they've just done two separate
yeah.
incidents.
But the pacing of each section is good.
Yeah, is good.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Because it's always fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Pacing is in that regard a big part of my rankings as well.
Yeah.
So
Pacing and airtime is my top two.
Yeah.
Airtime makes me laugh, which is the thing that I measure how good a ride is on. And then pacing, like, is the whole overall
Yeah.
thing of the ride, of like the experience of
See,
it.
that's why some of the big boys in my list fall down. Taron's pacing isn't great.
Yeah. That would be straight at number one if the pacing was good.
Yeah. And then Wildfire.
Bit more airtime actually as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
See, this is what... Do you know what? That's actually a good point. I've just said my two favourite things is pacing and airtime. Taron has neither of those.
Yeah.
And yet it's like number 3.
Yeah.
That's how good it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't have my top 2 things that I love, and yet it's still right up there.
Yeah. So my top things is chaos,
Right.
which isn't like a fundament. It isn't a statistic, you know. Like airtime is a statistic. Right.
Jesus.
And pacing, you could argue, is a statistic as well, right?
Yeah.
'Cause it's
Sorry,
just
where
how
do you
fast
work?
Yeah, I know. But chaos isn't. But it's just that fundamental
So
feeling.
it's
you know
not
what I mean?
objective, it's subjective.
Yeah, it's just that feeling.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, though. Some
Yeah,
rides give you that feeling like,
exactly.
geez, what is this?
Yeah.
So chaos is up there. And then for me, it has to be both have high positive force and high negative force. Both sustained.
All the forces.
Right? Well, I'm talking either end of the spectrum. I want sustained ejector It's sustained airtime and sustained positive force.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go into a valley, I want to be pushed into my seat a lot.
Yeah.
And then when we go over a hill, I don't want to be
You want to
small
fly
pop
out.
of airtime. I want to consistently for 2 seconds be pushed up.
Yeah.
You know, like Helix.
Uh-huh.
So those are my...
Like Boulder.
Well, this is it, like Boulder. Boulder's...
I love Boulder.
It's pretty chaotic as well, actually. Maybe
It
that's
is.
why I like it, to be honest, because it is a bit chaotic,
That
even though it's
ride-
not.
That
but-
ride annoys me.
I know.
Can it just not exist, please? Why is it here smashing the top 10 list?
Yeah, but yeah, when you ride Carnan eventually, I'm gonna be very intrigued.
God,
to see what you think.
I am not gonna like
I don't
it.
think you'll like it.
I'm not gonna like it, am I?
No.
Do you know why? Because you like it.
Because
That's why.
It's really chaotic
Yeah.
and it's very heavy on the sustained forces.
Do you have to ride with your head out the restraint?
It's lap bars,
Oh God. Okay. At least there's no head banging.
so you could hold on. You'll be alright if you hold on.
I don't like holding on when there's only a lap bar.
You'll have to hold on.
Exactly though, but it's harder, isn't it?
One of the things is an overbank turn.
It's
And
very
if you're
hard.
sitting on the outside, because it whips from right bank to left bank,
Yeah.
and I was sitting on the outside, and I just got thrown.
Oh.
Like my whole upper body just flopped to the other side.
No.
It's so good, but
That's one thing I hate on Helix. If you try and keep your arms up the whole way
Yeah,
around, you
it's
end
hard.
up like flopping
Folded, yeah,
forward,
yeah.
and you can't get up,
Yeah.
and you're like, what is that? I can't get up, and you have to hold on to the thing.
You don't like greying out either. do you?
No,
Yeah.
I
Whereas
don't even like getting close to it.
Every time I rode Carnan, I would grey out on the first drop.
I don't want to grey out.
Every time.
I don't want to go on it.
It's
I
good.
actually
Yeah,
don't
you
want to
just-
go on it.
You just have to do it for the whole
jeez.
experience. That's what I mean. Again, if we're talking about things that we like, experiences someone for me. The build up.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I didn't really like Wildfires, there's no build up.
Mm.
Literally, we were going up the lift hill, and I could have been like, I had no feeling, like there was no anticipation, which I found really bizarre because I've had that before.
Yeah, they just chucked you on. They were like, bye.
Yeah, but even then, a little bit with Taron, it wasn't so much because they had the whole kind of.
No, I think Taron was okay.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
It's atmospheric enough for me.
Yeah. Whereas, so build up, anticipation are big factors as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, any more?
Actually, this is a good one. Icon. Many people saying it's overrated.
Nah, I don't have that.
This was quite a big thing when it came out, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Of when we went on it, everybody was saying it was quite good. I can't remember if they were saying it was very good,
Well,
but we thought it was meh.
You thought it was.
I thought it was meh.
I always thought it met my expectations, right? I always thought, yeah, this is about it. This is
Okay.
what I expected.
Do you know what it was? Is the launch.
Yeah, the launches. Yeah, but I already knew that. You didn't know that.
I
They were
didn't
gonna
know
be
that.
trash. I already knew it was gonna be trash. To be fair, in that video of me and my dad, you saw that I was disappointed.
Yeah.
As soon as it launched, I was like, this is crap.
Yeah.
So
The thing is, the launch is just kind of ridiculous to the point where you can't even you just being pushed to go. Literally, I don't even know how it gets to the top.
yeah, I know.
And it's just not a great way to start, to be honest.
It's because there's no punch. That's the problem. The launch is... There's no initial punch to the launch, and that's what sets
Yeah.
the launch kind of off.
For a ride, I think the most exciting ones are launches like Rita or Stealth. That's very exciting because the anticipation is insane. And things like Helix, I can't think of another example, where you drop off something.
Yeah.
That's good as well.
Rides that start straight away.
Yeah. If you're just going to push me
Yeah.
and go, off you go, ride icon.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to get excited about that, am I? I was like, okay, we're starting then. And then I feel like without the first bit of adrenaline, your body's has to warm up to it. So
Yeah.
it does. By the time you got to the end, you've only just kind of started to get up there. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
You either
doesn't
wanna be-
give you a kick start.
You want to be you want to be taken by surprise with
Yeah.
a rolling start, or you want to be high adrenaline straight away. You don't want anything else.
Yeah, to get you up to the level of adrenaline that
Yeah.
you should be at the whole way around.
Yeah.
Whereas on Icon, you hardly ever get there because the ride just meh.
What is it?
don't
Icon is
know.
an all-round ride. It's good at everything, but not great at anything.
Yeah. It's fine. Like, it's fine. It's great. It's best ride at Blackpool.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
So, I mean, yeah, it's fine. I would say slightly overrated.
I don't know.
It's just the launch, especially.
Yeah, well, but anyone who says the launch is good is stupid.
That's true.
So I don't think you could say that's fundamentally overrated when
Yeah,
it's
that's
bad.
true. Everybody said it was bad.
Yeah, exactly.
So therefore it's not overrated, is it?
No.
It's just the park that picked it up.
Well, you'd only been on hydraulic launches at that point.
Yeah.
I already knew that they were bad. So.
There's better examples.
Oh no, you'd done Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What about, go on, just before you end then, what about any rides stand out to you as overrated or underrated that you've done? There's all of the American coasters, but it's hard to say a ride's overrated or underrated in your own opinion if you haven't been on them.
Yeah.
Right? So we're avoiding Steel of Engines and El Toro and Fury 325 and all that.
Yeah, we can't comment on that yet.
No.
Stay tuned. It'll probably be all overrated, in our opinion.
I'm really
I feel like we're
intrigued.
very hard to impress.
I don't know. I think I'm going to get to see the point. I'm going to look at it and go, this looks crap. Like,
I
as
don't
in
know.
from a theme park standpoint,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to look down Main Street and go, this is just a glorified fun fair.
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope I'm like, ooh, but,
You're very hard to, I was about to say excite, but that sounds very weird.
We'll see.
You're hard to impress.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't know how it's going to be until we get there. Like, yeah. But go on.
Stop forming opinions. I think any invert.
Yeah. Well, but this is because we don't like that.
Because I don't
ride
like
type.
inverts.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
See, my opinion is based on what other people say compared to what I like.
Yeah.
And therefore, I think it's overrated. Because I'm surprised so many people like it. Because I can't be doing with that. What about you?
Overrated. Trying to think of the top ones. Olympia looping.
Yeah.
Fine. It's just one force. It's like just hammering, positives, but
Yeah.
there's nothing else.
Yeah.
Sure, whatever. What
Let's
else?
do underrated.
Underrated. Well, Kana, right? Not enough people have ridden it just to
Okay.
begin with. So
Mine's Boulder.
Boulder's underrated. Yeah.
A lot of people do not like it.
Yeah.
Outright don't like it. But I absolutely love it.
Yeah,
Every
it's
time we
really
talk
good.
about this ride, it's just so funny.
It is really good.
I don't know why we like it so much. See, something happened. Something has gone wrong in our system there of like, I don't know. Maybe just because we thought it would be rubbish based on what is
Well,
on paper and what people said about it.
I didn't know anything about it.
Didn't you?
No.
Nobody's opinions.
No.
So you just looked at it and thought, that's a stock ride.
I looked at it and thought, these are meant to be really good.
Oh, okay.
And
I
then
thought you thought it would be bad.
No. And then we read on it and I was like, I like that.
Yeah.
But it's quite chaotic. And
See, the one with me is, I have this thing about wooden coasters that's Blackpool's just scarred me.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be horrible and jolty and like I wanted to die.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I think that's part of it. I was quite scared about it. But then in the end it was great.
Blue Fire, overrated to hell. Like, not so much anymore, but back in the day, people used to say that was Jesus, But what a world to live in when that was meant to be good. Trying to just think about theme parks in my head, Underrated in my opinion as well. Saw the Ride. People don't like it because it's rough. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's chaotic, right? It's chaotic.
I mean, it's no rougher than any of the other ones I've been on.
No, I don't think it's that bad at all,
No.
honestly. So,
Colossus is worse.
can be worse.
Always worse, Colossus.
Overrated. Stealth.
I didn't even think people thought that highly of Stealth.
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
Best ride at Thorpe Park.
No.
Yeah, not
Thorpe
a
Park.
fan. Too short, just way too short. It's not enough. By the time you're into it, it's finished.
Yeah.
Basically, underrated. Every big coaster at Hansa Park.
Really?
Yeah. Well, there's only two.
Oh, right, okay.
Flukwan Novgorod.
Okay.
Really good. And Kanin. Overrated. Everything at Phantasialand.
Overrated.
Very cool. That's what I mean, yeah. Very cool. Happy days.
Except Wingies.
If you think so.
I like Wingies. What
I
is
think
it?
they're a bit overrated. Winges.
Whingers.
I think they're a bit overrated.
Yeah.
The trick tracks are cool, but that's about it.
Cool. So that was controversial.
Yeah.
Probably insulted a few people, but
If I haven't insulted you, and you want
At
to,
me.
if you want a rebuttal, yeah, at Coasterbot on Twitter, you know,
we like a good debate.
fire some hot debates towards my direction, and I will cry.
But yeah, end of the day, everybody has their own opinion. That's just ours, isn't it?
Yeah, well, this is it. Like, overrated, underrated, as we said, really stems from expectations, and
Yeah.
you either have to trust other people's expectations, or if you've ridden something similar, you'll have past experiences that
Yeah.
will guide your expectations.
Yeah.
So, be careful.
It's a tricky game.
It is. It's a very tricky game.
So that's it for this episode. You can follow us on Twitter at CBR Podcast and join in the debate. Follow Harry at Coasterbot.
On Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We use Instagram for Coastbot Ramble stuff as well.
Yes.
So follow on there.
Get your own pin from our store on the website.
coasterbot.com/store. You just go to coasterbot.com, you'll see.
Get a white one because they're nearly gone.
No, don't get a white one. Get both.
Sorry, just any way you can get a white one though. Make sure you get one. We'll be back next week with another mini-sode.